Welcome back to World Information HD, where history, money, and treasure meet in the most fascinating ways. Today, we're diving into the story of a coin that might just look like an ordinary penny in your pocket, but in reality, it carries with it a legacy of American history, artistry, and immense collectible value. I'm talking about the United States of America 1939 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny. At first glance, a penny is the most overlooked coin in circulation. People toss them into jars, leave them in car cup holders, or even drop them on the street without a second thought. But sometimes, hidden among those copper-colored cents is a piece of history that collectors dream of finding. And the 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny is one of those coins. It's not just a cent, it's a story of America in the late 1930s, a snapshot of numismatic art, and for some lucky collectors, it's a ticket to wealth. So, sit back as we uncover the secrets, history, and hidden worth of this iconic Lincoln wheat cent. We're going to explore the coin's design, why it was made, what makes the 1939 no-mint mark version so special, how to identify errors and varieties, and most importantly, why this little piece of copper could be worth a staggering amount of money. Let's begin by traveling back in time. The year was 1939. America was still climbing out of the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt was in the White House, and the world was on the brink of World War II. Everyday life for most Americans was filled with challenges, but also with a renewed sense of hope. Pennies back then carried more weight than they do today. With just a few cents, you could buy bread, milk, or candy. Every coin mattered, and in pockets across the country, people carried the Lincoln wheat cent. This coin had been introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real person, breaking away from the tradition of allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. The obverse side proudly displayed Lincoln's profile, a design created by Victor David Brenner, an engraver whose initials, VDB, still appear subtly on the coin. By 1939, the wheat cent was already 30 years old, and it had become a fixture of American life. On the obverse side, you'll see Lincoln's right-facing bust, detailed with his beard, suit collar, and thoughtful expression. Above his head, the words, "In God We Trust," arch gracefully, while to the left sits the word, "Liberty," and to the right, the date, 1939. Now, here's where things get interesting. If you look at many coins from this year, you'll notice some have tiny mint marks under the date, indicating where they were made. A D stands for Denver and S stands for San Francisco, and if there's no mint mark at all, that means the coin came from the Philadelphia Mint. That's what we're focusing on today, the 1939 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. At first, this might not sound extraordinary. After all, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins. But what makes this version special isn't just the absence of a mint mark, it's the condition, rarity, and the demand from collectors that has transformed this penny into something remarkable. Now, let's talk about the reverse side of the coin, the iconic wheat design. Two stylized wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges, framing the words 1 cent in bold, simple lettering. Above, you'll see United States of America, and at the very top, the phrase E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. This wheat design gave the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. It remained in use from 1909 until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Collectors love wheat pennies not only because of their design but also because of their place in history. They symbolize a time when America was growing, struggling, and persevering. Each year and mint mark tells a unique story, and the 1939 no-mint mark penny is one of those stories that has grown in value over time. So why is this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. First, even though millions were minted, not all of them survived. Many were worn down through decades of use, lost, or melted for their copper content. Coins that remain in excellent condition, uncirculated or nearly perfect, are extremely hard to find. Second, collectors are always looking for high-grade examples of older wheat cents. If you've ever seen coin grading terms like fine, very fine, extremely fine, or mint state, You know that condition plays a huge role in value. A worn-out 1939 penny might only be worth a few cents, but one in pristine condition can fetch thousands. Third, errors and varieties can make certain coins even more valuable. Imagine finding a 1939 penny with a doubled die, where the lettering or date looks slightly doubled due to a minting mistake. Or perhaps one with off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual coloring. These errors are like treasures within treasures, pushing the value of the coin far beyond its ordinary range. Let's also not forget the material of the coin. The 1939 penny was made primarily of copper, about 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives it that rich reddish-brown tone. Over time, depending on how the coin was stored, it might have developed natural toning, subtle shades of red, brown, or even rainbow-like hues that collectors find especially appealing. Now, let's imagine you're holding a 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny in your hand. How do you know if it's valuable? First, examine the date and confirm there's no mint mark under the year. Then, carefully check the condition. Are Lincoln's features sharp? Can you clearly see the lines in his beard and hair? On the reverse, are the wheat stalks detailed with little lines, or are they worn smooth? The sharper the detail, the higher the grade, and the higher the value. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. Collectors often pay premiums for coins that come with these certifications because it guarantees their authenticity and grade. Now, let's talk about market demand. Coin collecting is a passionate hobby, and Lincoln Cents are one of the most popular series among collectors. Because so many people collect wheat pennies, especially by year and mint mark, certain dates and conditions are always in high demand. The 1939 no-mint mark penny happens to be one of those coins that sits at the intersection of historical interest and collector passion. But here's the part you've been waiting for: the potential value. While common worn examples may not be worth much, rare, pristine examples of the 1939 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln wheat penny have shocked collectors and auction houses. And one extraordinary specimen has been valued at an astonishing $53,847. That's right. A penny that could easily slip through your fingers unnoticed could actually be worth more than a brand new car, a luxury vacation, or even a down payment on a home. It's stories like this that make coin collecting so thrilling. The idea that something so small, so ordinary, can hold such extraordinary worth is what keeps people searching, flipping through change, and dreaming of finding hidden treasure. So, the next time you come across an old wheat penny, don't dismiss it as just pocket change. Take a closer look. It could be a window into history, a symbol of resilience, and perhaps even your ticket to unexpected fortune. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to discover a coin that changes your life forever.